Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next talk with Lucas and me, Darius. Hello, Lucas.
Hello.
Yeah, today I would like to learn more about Lucas, especially, particularly about Lucas' experience with his burnout. Lucas, first of all, thank you very much for your opening, for your willingness, and for your courage to talk about this topic.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I like to share my experiences so other people might have something that they can use of it, that they can learn or at least take some things from my perspective. So, yeah, let's see how it comes out and how much yeah, light I can put on this topic.
Perfect. Lucas, you are still a young man, but how old were you as this problem did come to your life?
I was around 20 or 21 years old. Yeah, I was actually in the middle of my studies doing social work. Yeah, and I already had some experiences at work, and I don't know. There were quite already some things that I did before I was that age. But I will get into that later.
Yeah, okay, but you were very young. Yeah, if you got you started suffered from burnout with around 20. From my perspective, it's quite young. Could you describe what happened before? How did it come to your life that you started to feel to burn out?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, then now I can get into it, I guess. Well, I have to say that there were a lot of things that happened that slowly built up towards the burnout, because I feel like a burnout is also a part of being in a certain pattern that you're just overcompensating. You know, you're doing too much. You feel like you're putting in 110% of effort, and I guess at one point I had to start working, and my first experiences at work were quite shocking to me, in that sense that I had to really give my all. At least that's how I felt, and that's how I interpreted my bosses, their responses to what's me. But I now remember that they did that to everyone, so it was just work culture, and basically it felt like all the people outside of my family were expecting me to really show up in the best and the most like I had to do as much as possible, and that was the first and the second experience of my jobs, and I felt at that point that was the norm, and I just had to show up the best as I could. So at one point I also did a lot of gaming. Gaming was also a way to relax for me. But also during that gaming, I became better and better, and I felt the need to show how good I was, not only to people outside of me, but to myself. Like, okay, I really wanted to be the best I could. So even in my relaxing state, I was having this feeling of like, okay, be the best of you, be the best of you. And I was always trying to be like in the summer mode, like being, I don't know, I will get into that later, but like really putting a lot of energy outside of me instead of also filling my energy with maybe presence or deep breathing or just being grounded, not so much being outside of myself. And
was it a kind of playing a rule for anybody around you without feeling how do you feel with this situation? Was it like this?
So you mean that there was not really a person that made me realize of like, or ask me the question of like, hey, how do you feel while doing this?
Yeah, I have heard that you started your work, and yeah, also your family has pushed you to be very good, to show up how good you are, and probably this it was not enough. Yeah, you had the feeling of I must be better. Was it like this?
Yeah, I did feel like that. That the let's say the basic version of me would not be enough, and that I had to really do something to earn this feeling of like, okay, I am enough. So I was always trying to show up. And I don't know. I heard you say in a different conversation that most of these, let's say, patterns of things that happen in your life are created in the first 7 or 6 years of your life, and I can't really take a full grasp of what that was in my early childhood, but I do at least know that it was a big topic in the phase of my puberty. And I also always had a little bit of trouble with talking about what was going on inside me, and I was having already a pattern in that puberty of not sharing too much that was going on and just dealing with it myself by, let's say, analyze it a little bit or just ignore it and go into whatever, gaming or any distraction, so I would not be noticing too much of what was going on inside. So yeah, that basically.
Yeah. Have you had in this time someone you could talk about this situation, which was going on inside of you, or were you completely alone with yourself?
In the period leading up to the burnout, or do you mean after I had the burnout?
Okay, I jumped already into the period of burnout, and you were talking about the situation before.
Yeah.
Okay, then let me ask the question: Have you been in this time alone with yourself? Have you got any reflection from other people? Hey, Lucas. I know you are not this person you are showing up. I know you in another way. Was someone like this around you?
Yeah, I did have some people around me. Even a little bit already before my burnout, but I had one friend who also had some experiences with having the same feeling of like having to be the best version of themselves to feel like they were good enough, and they also had some kind of burnout, and they were already quite some years older, and I don't know, I really felt like I could talk with him about my personal experiences for as much as I could put light on it, because I was not always already too aware of what was going on inside, and it was not like I had the exact same things happen to me as he did. So it was a nice thing to talk about these experiences, and I felt like by talking about it I was also becoming more aware of it, because I was giving words and thinking about it instead of running away from what was happening inside of me. And yeah, they were the friends, or let me think of like one friend now. It were a couple, but they would also have moments where they say like, okay, hey, I hear you, but it's okay that you also take it a little bit slower. You know, you don't always have to be this extra version of yourself, because you already are really cool and chill and good as you are. And I don't know, it was hard for me to really accept those words from my friends, although they are important people in my life. But,
Yeah, I remember for myself, after my study, my first years, within, within my working life, one time a friend of mine said to me, "Hey Darius, you are always talking about your work. Could you talk about any other topic?" And I couldn't understand this question. Yeah? But, for me, it was like, that must be interesting for everyone what I do. And I was not aware that it was a kind of pressure inside of me. I was interested. I was completely in my work, and I haven't recognized that talking to friends, to other people, I have only one topic, nothing else. Yeah, and so I understand what you say. If you are in this situation and you hear from someone else, are you sure? Are you connected with your inner core, or are you still outside thinking, working, doing something?
Yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah,
I hear you as well. Like you say, like your identity was also a lot about work, or like what you were putting out, and that was defining of like feeling good about yourself in some way.
Yes.
Yeah.
My definition of myself was my work. Yeah. It was not something like it's me and this is my work. It was like the work that's me. It's a switch.
Yeah.
But I was not aware of this. It was a very interesting situation.
Yeah, indeed. I can understand it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hear for in your case it was something similar like this.
I would also often talk about what I achieved. Let's put it like that, and not of like how am I feeling, and maybe also some things about what am I dealing with, not struggling. Yeah, let's also put a word to it, struggling, like something I am trying to overcome. I would not be talking about that a lot, but I did start doing that when I had this burnout, and I guess I started to realize that it's good to also put or shine light on your shadow side of yourself, the things that are maybe creating stress or fear inside of you, to become more conscious of that, and notice what patterns or thoughts you are having that create that whole dynamic within you. And I don't know, I started with going to a psychologist during my school, and I also chose to have like 1 year off to really focus on myself and actually start to notice, because I felt like I was really stuck in those old patterns of just showing up and being the best version of myself, that it was also hard for me to slow down and really think and see what was happening inside of me. And I would often only get to that point after I was actually going over a border that would really put me in a fully stressful state, and I would have like a panic attack, and I would be hyperventilating even. So I would be, let's say, playing a video game at home. I was in my bedroom chilling, and at some point during the match I would just really have like these heart beats that were like extreme in my chest, and I don't know, and I was just feeling like I could only inhale for like 25% of what I do now, and it was just like, okay, okay, just a little longer, just a little longer, and then I can relax. And then after that moment came, I would be like laying on my bed for half an hour, and only after that I would get out of that state and get a bit relaxed again. I would think like, okay, why did that just happen? And I guess to get already to one point that really helped me a lot was becoming aware and writing down what you already did before that situation arose. So you basically get more insight of, okay, what actions did I do before that, and how did I feel already, like let's say 1 hour before my panic attack and my hyperventilations, just so you can become more aware of the symptoms that are there before you get to this boiling point where it's too much, so you can basically be tackling that.
Lucas, did a certain situation happen in your life that you would say, this was the moment I was starting to be aware that I have a problem, or it was coming so constantly, step by step, with panic attack, heart attack, or something like this?
Well, when I hear this question, the first image that arose in me was that during my school, I would have moments during my class, for example, where I was listening for like maybe an hour to the teacher, and I was really noticing that I was not having any attention span anymore. Like I would just forget, like almost every time within, let's say you say something and I would have forgotten it within 20 seconds. I would not be able to put any clear words of like, what did he say just now? Just because I was so much having energy within myself and noticing like, okay, what am I feeling? Okay, stay relaxed. And I think also I was noticing that I was always stressful, even when I was sitting or in the bus, and even the slightest things of stress were giving me this state of mind and state of being. So even if I was on the bus station and a lot of people were around me, I would already feel overwhelmed, and my breathing would already then be so tense that I was having this really obvious telltale signs of a beginning panic attack. So I don't know, maybe I already could have noticed this way earlier, but at one point I really became aware of it because I could not function anymore and I could not do the things that I wanted to do. So my school was really important. I could not do that again. And I also had like internship with like the social work, what I was doing, and I was also having to have conversations with people about their problems. But I was not being really there for them anymore, and I noticed this, and that was a telltale sign for me.
Okay, and when you recognize this, I Lucas, I have a problem. I am suffering from burnout. Have you got any help from outside? Have you taken a decision? I must go to get help.
Well, I had at my internship, I had like someone who was coaching me from the work field, and I am really glad to have had her, because it was not only one time that she was like, okay, maybe it's smart to just go to a psychologist and have a talk about what you're feeling. And I remember the first time I was like, but I am basically learning this myself, so I could do this myself. I have all the tools around me, and I guess I thought inside of me to deal with this myself, and I was not really taking that advice too hard the first time, and I think it needed like not only 2 but 3 times for her to tell me that. I really started to think of like, okay, yeah, but this is also not working. I am not being really productive anymore. So what is left to lose? I can only get not only better, because that's not what I wanted to. Yeah, I guess at that point, yeah, I did want it to get also better as in productivity, but also feeling more at ease with myself and my overall energy, because I was done with being that stressful all the time. I was not looking forward to each day anymore, because I knew that each day would be so stressful, and I was already thinking of like, okay, I want to go to bed again and just relax.
Well, it was interesting for me to hear that you had the feeling, I have all the tools, I can help myself. At the beginning, I don't need any psychological support. I remembered I don't have this experience as you have, but I remember in my life also, as I ask myself, what is going on inside of me? The idea to ask for support, the idea to go to a psychological clinic or something like this. It was not possible for me to think like this. For me, to go to psychological clinic, for me it's for crazy people. I am not crazy.
Yeah.
It was also a lack of understanding inside of me that to work with psychological people, it's not only for crazy people. Yeah, it's also for normal people like us.
Yeah. Because then, I don't know, you just think, oh, but it's fine, this is normal, more people are experiencing this. That's the baseline thought I had, like, okay, I didn't see the urgency in it that much yet, so I don't know, and I didn't take I was not really willing to take up that advice and just be like, okay, I have to take a step back to take a leap forward, and that was after all a really good choice to take, to just get a bit slower, because I think that's so important when you're having a burnout. Your whole baseline is being on that 110% all the time, so I guess when you slow down, then you also get more breathing room and more overview of what you have experienced in the past and in the present, and you can also notice more of all the patterns that are causing you to have this feeling, because I feel like if you're living always on the push mode, that it's really hard for reflection and really feeling as well, because then you're only living outside of you and trying to create outside of you. But sometimes it's really good to slow down and feel within you and start to think inside of you.
Yeah, Lucas, when you look back to this period in your life, could you say there was something like let's call it a method which helped you, or it was a process of getting aware what's going on inside of you step by step, or would you say this work helped me a lot, this work helped me the most?
It was a multiple. It were multiple things. Of course, I had like hyperventilation, so breath work was already quickly noticed by myself that I had to do something with that, and I went to a person, and yeah, I quickly realized that I was not able to breathe with my belly. I was only having a high chesty, breathing way, and that would always put some stress as well on my body because I was not having this relaxing state of breathing. I was always having this fight or flight way of breathing. So, yeah, basically taking some time. It was months, maybe even, maybe even years, because it's a really slow process to change your baseline breathing. Sure, you can try to do it in an exercise and notice that you can do in the exercise a slower and deeper and more relaxed breathing, but to also let that be your normal way of breathing, that takes a little bit more time. And for me, it took a little bit more time because I was also still having a little bit of me slipping back into that old state of like, okay, but I also want to push, I want to show up and be Lucas that does things and achieves things. So I was also working against myself a little bit at the beginning, so that's why it took a little bit longer. So breath work was one thing, and I also did some mindfulness. I did a mindfulness workshop at one point, and the core thing that made me think of my own thoughts was that they told me like, okay, just know that in the let's say the normal way of thinking, most humans have like over 70 or 80% of stressful, or at least thoughts that are not really creating a relaxed state of mind. And it's more like, okay, what thoughts am I putting in myself that create that stress? So I was becoming aware of that 80% and how much thoughts I was having that were not really realistic. So I was having some stress, for example, within myself, like thinking of possible future scenarios. Like maybe I was thinking of, okay, but I have to do something for school in the near future. I don't think I can do this. Or what if this happens? Oh, boy, what if that happens? Oh, and then I was having so much stress again that I was, just having trouble doing anything again, and it was not even a realistic situation. So all that constant thinking of what if in a negative way is not always productive. I'm not saying it's totally useless. I think it's in some ways also good to analyze about the future, but I don't know, also to become more aware of this balance. You can not have 80% of negative thoughts and only 20%, because then this reality of the 80% negative thoughts will also be your experience, and your personal experience will be that. It's not like it will necessarily become reality, but it's more likely to become that reality. And I felt like, okay, I had to take time to also increase that 20% more, so it would be in balance. And I really had to train my thinking to become more positive and more supportive of myself, and thinking of like good thoughts on whatever you're dealing with.
I hear that you have learned a lot about you, about what is going on inside of you. You know my view on this, that nothing in life happened by accident. So if I ask you this question, okay, Lucas, your burnout was not an accident. There was for sure a purpose behind, and you overcome this situation. Lucas, what have you learned from your burnout? Have you got any messages for you and any insights?
Yeah, I think the whole burnout made me more aware of myself. Overall, I've talked about this already quite a ton, but yeah, I guess to put the word consciousness into this and awareness, it really increased this. Both these things increased a lot because I had to really get into that because the burnout was so intense that I was basically forced to look at those things and take ownership of my own experience and my own life, because I don't know, if you want to change within, then you also have to do it yourself. But sure, you can get some help, but any insights other people give, you yourself have to integrate, and it all comes down to yourself basically. So taking ownership of my own actions and thoughts was the most important thing that I could have learned from this burnout. So I think I just really I'm glad of having that burnout. I know I had like 50 times that I felt like, okay, this is the end. I have like a heart attack, and I was basically almost having a feeling of like not giving up. I always felt like okay, stay alive, you know. But it was so deep, that pain, that I can. It's crazy to think that I look so fondly back on it, because after that period I was really easily able to stay in a relaxed state and also notice more of what was going on outside of me. It almost felt like I saw more details in everyday life, and I also saw more beauty in everyday life, because I was not only feeding my body with more deeper breath that made me more relaxed, but also feeding myself with more dynamic thoughts and more positive thoughts and more constructive, supportive thoughts. And that really also changed my perspective and my reality of what was going on. So life became also way more chill, you know. So yeah, I'm happy that it happened. So, and especially in this young age, for me, sure, I missed some years where I could have been, I don't know, a teenager or anyway. But now I have already this experience, so I can be more in the present. So I don't know, it's all relative, but I like to look back on it and think it was nice.
Wow, wow! It's nice to hear that you have received a lot. For you, you got a lot out of this, let's say, difficult situation in your life.
Yeah.
Lucas, if someone is listening to our talk and is in a similar situation, would you give some advice to someone who is currently in this burnout situation?
Mm-hmm. I would first. I would say relax a little bit and look within and realize that you don't always have to be in a mode that you have to accomplish things. I like to put the seasons as an analogy to get a better grasp on this. Like if you look at plants and the nature, you always see like they go in seasons, you know, and you have like the summer, which is the period where it really is growing, everything is outside and being the most expressive self. That's why I told like I was always in summer mode. But it's also really important to have that other 3 seasons there as well. So you have, for example, the spring, which is more about curiosity and some rebuilding. And yeah, you have autumn, that is also a bit of letting go of maybe things that you don't really want, or that don't really feed you in a healthy way. And also, yeah, to reflect a bit on what is happening, or what has happened within you. And the winter, I don't know, if you look outside, for example, now, I don't know, time is relative on the internet, but now it's really like there are no leaves on the trees anymore, and it's all within, like the energy of nature has gone inside to really just take rest and be still. And I don't know, it's important if you look at this in nature that not all energy can always be expressive. So take that also as well for yourself. Take a time in the day, but also in the year, to have this moment of relaxation, a moment of like curiosity, like what am I gonna do today, and a period of like doing that and being expressive, and then also having a period where you let go of the leaves and start to reflect a little bit, and of course then again take some relaxation time. And I guess that is already quite a good way of dealing with this, because you can also go to a therapist and become more aware of your own thoughts. But I guess if you follow these 4 steps, you already do that all within yourself. But sure, go to a therapist or a psychologist. It's really helpful to just talk with someone else and to have like a mirror of maybe good questions that they can ask you, because they see different aspects of what is going on within you, or they assume what is going on within you, and that might make you more aware of what is going on. So sure, also take refuge in help from others. So
I think it's also a good advice. Yeah, we are humans and we can help each other, and just to sometimes just to hear a good question could be helpful. Yeah, to get the opportunity to reflect yourself.
Mm-hmm. To put light on something that has been dormant or in the shadow. And I guess that's the beauty about the yin-yang sign. I think that they go around each other, and in that way the white fish is going to the black fish and putting more light onto the shadowy side. So it's like, I don't know, maybe it's also the other way around, but I feel like that whole flow creates a dynamic where more light is put on shadow, and then you see more of both the fishes, and you become constantly more aware.
And in talking to each other,
And of course, the blackfish makes you aware of what is not feeling nice, and that makes you more aware of like, okay, hey, I want to do something with this and learn my lesson from that negative. So that's how the blackfish has effect on the whitefish, and that's that cycle.
Or the blackfish as a symbol, for example, for our shadow. The whitefish, this is what we like, and the blackfish is probably what we don't like, but it belongs to us.
Yeah, that's a good add-on. Yeah.
Lucas, would you like to add something which I haven't asked you?
I'm thinking. I like the questions you asked already, so maybe this. Like I also did some experiences with like doing the Wim Hof method, but I don't know, the Wim Hof method is just a way, but the lesson that I got from that was that it's also good to go into the stress and deal with it in a conscious manner. So not being overwhelmed and be like, okay, oof, now I cannot deal with it, but willingly go into it beforehand, so you get more control into it. But be careful with this, because you should not do it like too extreme, but just slow progression, so you feel more able to deal with the situations when they arise. So for example, the Wim Hof method deals with going into ice cold water, and I started with dealing with cold showers first. So I would get more control of my breathing and my personal stress when I was going into that situations. And what I noticed after doing that for a while, that I was also not having that much stress during the day anymore, because my baseline experience, especially on the beginning of the day when I did the cold showers, was already in a stressed situation, but in a controlled stressed situation. And that made my, I guess, nervous system and my own thinking, it gave me a feeling of like, okay, I am in control and I can deal with stress. And my body was then also not experiencing that as much anymore. So I feel like it's the same with fitness, to make an analogy to something more that other people do. That if you go to the fitness school and you or you do your sports, that you feel already much better in your body, and muscles will not get much soreness, or you won't get any injuries as quick. But if you don't go to the sporting, then that might lead to some, maybe, I don't know, bad posture, or anything that might be to do with muscles being not that strong. So it's good to maintain that a little bit, to get into that stress yourself, so you don't get overwhelmed by it when you're not doing that.
I hear a kind of invitation, to, let's say, to our listeners, to everyone, start doing exercises, start awareness work. If you are feeling fine before the life is putting you in an extreme situation. Is it like this?
Yeah.
Invitation, to use this time you feel good, to find out who you are, or what is inside of you, without any illness, without any problems coming by accident from in your life.
I totally agree with what you say. Yeah. So good luck if you feel like you want to follow this path, because it's worthwhile. Because after a while you have better experiences of life. Yeah, that's at least my experience, and I've heard many other people say this as well. So I can only speak from that.
From my perspective, it's very important just to speak like this. This is your experience. You have been talking about you, and I appreciate this kind of talk. Lucas, for today, I would like to say once more, thank you for your opening. Thank you, for your courage and willingness to open this topic.
Yeah.
And
thank you for the beautiful questions that made me able to share my story, and I hope it has come out in quite a good way, and people can take a grasp of my life experiences, so you get that insight and add it maybe to your own personal experiences and combine them to one, I don't know, super experience. I don't know, I like to also always think that I can learn from other people's experiences, so I don't have to go through them myself. So I hope that can be of good use for you guys.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a good inspiration and probably also motivation for whomever. And Lucas, once more, thank you for today, and see you in our next talk.
All right. Bye-bye, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from us. So, yeah. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.